Hey there, it's Michael Murray here. And as some of you may know, the last column I wrote was on a discovery show called Most Evil. And on this show, each week they profile a variety of serial killers and then rank them on the scale of evil. It's a fascinating show. Like, I just can't get enough of it. I suppose I've always been interested in criminal behavior. And as fate would have it, I've been able to marry this interest to a charitable endeavor that I'm doing in the new year. This year, through the auspices of a Prison Fellowship Canada, I volunteered to correspond with a number of inmates who are incarcerated throughout the country. So anyone can do this, just a person like me or you. We just write letters to an inmate and they write back. And I don't know, I guess we try and help one another in some weird way. At any rate, Rochelle's boss, Susan, was over for dinner last week, and I was talking about this endeavor, and I was telling her how excited I was about it and how I thought it'd be gratifying. And I was also talking about how much I admired the stellar documentary Silence of the Lambs, and how fascinating it would be to correspond with Hannibal Lecter. I think he has to be one of the most compelling and interesting killers of our time. And bizarrely enough, Susan said that she had a friend who was a warden in a facility down in the States in Maryland, where actually that housed Hannibal Lecter. And she said that if I wanted, I could write letters to Hannibal Lecter, give it to her, and she'd act as intermediary. She'd send the letter to the warden would give it to Lecter and back to me. But she said that Lecter is a very dangerous person. I need to conceal my identity, and so I can't give off any details of my and Rochelle's life, and can't go by my real name. And so I needed a code name, and I wanted to go with Clooney, which is what I use online and stuff when I'm chatting, for pretty obvious reasons. But they thought that Lecter, who's a genius, would be able to crack that code, and they dubbed me Antlip. And so as Antlip, I now correspond with Hannibal Lecter. And we've exchanged a few letters now, not too many, they've been short. But I found out some very surprising and counterintuitive things about Lecter. I'll just let you know a few of them. He never celebrates Halloween, and he loves Tim Hortons coffee. He's a pretty big NFL fan, with his favorite team being the Baltimore Ravens. He prefers stabbing people to shooting them, and he thinks that Jennifer Aniston is delicious. He put it in quotation marks. And he thinks that he'd like to settle down and maybe start a family after he escapes from prison. But he doesn't think he'll do it in the States, maybe a place like Thailand, for pretty obvious reasons. And I'll just read you a tiny little portion of a last letter he wrote me. And it goes like this. It's, Dear Antlip, your floor hockey skills sound quite remarkable, and I think it very unfair that you weren't voted captain of the team. I don't know what's wrong with your teammates. In order to redress this vile injustice, I suggest verbally assaulting one of the players on the bench until he chokes to death on his own tongue. Just thinking out loud here. Yeah, you must send me a team pic. The Lambs sign, Sing for You, Hannibal. And that was the letter.